The cold mahogany doors of the Manhattan family law office felt less like an entrance to a legal proceeding and more like the heavy gates of a final judgment, especially when Clara stood before them, cradling a sleeping, 3-week-old infant against her chest with trembling arms. Before we dive deeper into this emotional journey, if you believe in kindness, hope, forgiveness, compassion, and second chances, please take a quick moment to like this video, leave a thoughtful comment, share it with someone who needs encouragement, and subscribe to the channel. Clara adjusted the soft wool blanket around little Noah, trying desperately to steady her breathing as she pushed the heavy door open to face the most agonizing chapter of her life. Inside the sunlit conference room, her estranged husband, Nathan, sat sprawled casually across a leather chair, his arm draped effortlessly around his glamorous high society lover, Victoria, as if celebrating a corporate merger rather than the formal dissolution of a marriage. Nathan, a self-made billionaire whose empire had grown exponentially during the very years Clara quietly managed his chaotic household behind the scenes, barely spared a glance at his newborn son, choosing instead to sip sparkling water while sneering at Clara's worn-out coat and exhausted eyes. Victoria let out a shallow, condescending laugh, tossing her designer hair over her shoulder and whispering something in Nathan's ear that caused him to flash a cold, arrogant smirk. Clara felt a sharp pang of betrayal pierce through her chest, remembering the countless late nights she spent nursing Nathan through his early career failures, believing in his vision when he had nothing to his name except empty promises. Now, armed with an army of ruthless corporate lawyers, Nathan had drafted a settlement designed to strip Clara of everything, leaving her with a meager payout and strict clauses prohibiting her from ever claiming a stake in the multi-billion-dollar fortune. They built together. The lead attorney slid the thick stack of papers across the polished table, demanding Clara's signature with chilling detachment while reminding her that she had no legal leverage, no financial backing, and no chance of fighting a man of Nathan's monumental stature. As Clara looked down at the documents, a profound wave of silence washed over the room, replacing her initial terror with a fierce, unwavering clarity that came from protecting her helpless child. She gently kissed the top of Noah's dark hair, feeling the steady rhythm of his tiny heartbeat remind her that her true wealth was resting right against her chest, far more valuable than any corporate stock or offshore bank account. Instead of reaching for the pen to sign away her dignity, Clara slowly unzipped her worn leather bag and pulled out a manila envelope that had been securely sealed by federal auditors just 48 hours prior. She slid the envelope across the table, right past the divorce papers, and watched the smug expression on Nathan's face instantly drain into a mask of pure, unadulterated panic as he recognized the logo of the Securities and Exchange Commission and forensic accounting firms. Clara spoke in a calm, steady voice that commanded the entire room, revealing that while Nathan was busy building his public empire and flaunting his extravagant lifestyle, she had quietly preserved every financial receipt, corporate ledger, and whistleblower email documenting how Nathan's early billions had been secured through systematic corporate fraud and hidden embezzlement. The documents laid bare before them proved that Nathan's entire fortune stood on a fragile house of cards. And because Clara's name remained legally tied to every foundational asset as an equal partner, she held the absolute power to either dismantle his empire completely or use the remaining legitimate assets to secure a clean, independent future for her son. Victoria panicked, dropping her glass of water as it shattered across the hardwood floor, realizing instantly that Nathan was no longer a billionaire protector, but a ruined man facing federal indictment. Nathan lunged forward, his arrogance entirely shattered, begging Clara for mercy and pleading with her to destroy the files, reminding her of their past vows and promising her half of whatever real wealth was left if she would just stay silent. Before we reach the heartwarming conclusion of this story, please drop a comment below and share your thoughts on whether you think Clara made the right choice to walk away with her peace of mind. Clara looked deep into Nathan's desperate eyes, feeling no anger or desire for revenge, only a profound sense of liberation and pity for a man who had traded his soul for a temporary throne of gold. She calmly stood up, scooped little Noah securely into her arms, and left the devastating envelope resting on the table as a monument to truth, choosing neither to destroy Nathan nor to take his fraudulent money, but rather walking away with her absolute freedom and the priceless dignity of a mother who knew her worth could never be bought or sold.